Why would women want to stay in a country that every day is undermining their rights and stripping away their freedoms?
A new poll found a record 40% of women want to leave the United States. They created a country where women can't afford to have children, can't access healthcare, can't control our own bodies. We can't even trust that we'll survive childbirth. Women aren't leaving because we're dramatic. We're leaving because if we stay, it might kill us.
Nothing about what I see from real life people who have children makes me want to have kids. There's no amount of money that can make me suffer that way.
It's not just the men at top that are doing it. It's the everyday average man that perpetuate it on the daily. Let me tell y'all something. The way in which people are not interested in being in America right now is not shocking, especially young people. Especially young people. There's nothing here. It's the country, for all intents and purposes, it's dead. I mean, there's no future. The future is bleak. It's crazy. It's crazy what's going on right now. So I don't understand. I don't understand who wants to be here. I have a house. You have to understand. Listen to what I'm telling you. I have a house in Southern California in one of the safest, if not the safest community in my county. Best schools in the county easily. I have all the amenities. My wife is essentially retired from her job. I retired her. And I'm telling you without a doubt, if I didn't have a profoundly autistic son, and this is not like blaming him for us being here, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying though, if I didn't have a profoundly autistic son, there is almost zero chance that I wouldn't be really like begging and pleading with my wife for us to leave the country at this point. Because I don't need to be here. Like I could go anywhere and do what I do. So it doesn't matter. I don't need to be in America. And she knows, like, she's okay with that too. It's not like she's against it. We talked, me and my wife talked about leaving America when Obama was in office. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, we've been on this type of timing. But it's just you can't really, there's really no way around it. Like America for younger people is a cesspool. The future is bleak. But when you add the caveat of women to that, oh my God. Oh my goodness. It just gets amplified, right? Why would women want to stay in a country that every day is undermining their rights and stripping away their freedoms? Why? Say, I'm a black person. Why do I want to fucking be in America? You know what I'm saying? Like, same thing. It's crazy. I totally understand why women don't want to be in this country.
A new poll found a record 40% of women want to leave the United States. Welcome back to Did Men Ruin, a series where we talk about things men have actually ruined for women, and today, the entire United States. A new Gallop poll found 40% of women aged 15 to 44 want to leave the United States permanently. That's 4 times higher than the number was in 2024. 41% of married women and 45% of single women want out. And this is the largest gender gap in desire to migrate ever recorded globally. Nowhere else has seen a gender gap this large between men and women wanting to leave their own country. And why would that be? Let's count the many reasons. The US by far has the highest maternal mortality rate of any developed nation. And this doesn't even take into account the number one cause of death in pregnancy, which is men unaliving us. And 80% of these deaths are completely preventable. This country just doesn't care enough to prevent them. The U.S.
Same country that is, they want to force women to have babies, but they don't want to do anything to make sure that women want to have babies, like economically, socially, nothing.
To prevent them. The US is one of only 3 countries in the world and the only developed nation not to have paid maternity leave. US women get nothing, and 23% go back to work within 10 days of giving birth. And when women do go back to work, there is no affordable childcare. In many states, it exceeds the cost of college tuition. We're also the only developed nation without universal health care, so women are paying out of pocket for pap smears, birth control, prenatal care, and giving birth, which can cost tens of thousands of dollars. Banned in half of US states, and women are dying because they can't get access to life saving care. Women are hemorrhaging, going septic, and doctors have to wait until they're sick enough to provide care. And let's not forget that women are being jailed for miscarriages. And our government is literally being run by manosphere bros now. Women's rights are being stripped away, and the country is becoming more authoritarian by the day. And women who make up half the population are watching it happen while being told we're hysterical for being concerned. So yeah, 40% of women want to leave because men ruined the United States for us. They created a country where women can't afford to have children, can't access healthcare, can't control our own bodies. We can't even trust that we'll survive childbirth. Women aren't leaving because we're dramatic. We're leaving because if we stay, it might kill us.
I'm going to say something to the men ruined America. America was ruined from its inception. So that's the only part that I disagree with. She's everything else she says is 100% spot on, but I disagree with the notion that like it was ever good for women or minorities or poor people or ever. It was only good for a small percentage of people. It's better for other people, but it's only been good for a small percentage of people historically. So yeah, that's the only part I disagree with. But everything else she said, spot the fuck on, 100%. Now, since she mentioned all of those things about like how the government, you know, legally doesn't do anything to protect women, or whatever you want to say. I don't know if you whatever you want to call it, economically protect women. All these big, huge institutions, the government doesn't do anything to protect women and children, and that makes perfect sense. Like what she's saying, yes, okay, I get that, right? But then I want to show you more on a individual level, on an interpersonal level, why women want to leave the country and how it's coming from the top down because the government doesn't give a fuck about women, but also men don't give a fuck about women on the daily.
I just want to say for the declining birth rates, the government can give everyone money to have kids. It can do whatever initiatives they want, but they could never effectively change this generation's mindset of men because I went to Disneyland this week and I watched dads ride rides while moms were putting in the work. They were driving the strollers, they were in charge of snacks, they were making sure the kids had sunscreen, had drinks. I was like, oof, that looks like a full-time job. Meanwhile, dad's nowhere to be seen, nowhere to be helping, right? Maybe it was just the day I went. And then we go on the tram or like the monorail to leave. The dads were all sitting down in the seats while their wives and mother of their children's were standing, being like, oh, I'm so tired. I just wish I could sit. Didn't let them sit. I was like, I just watched these women put in the work all day, and now they can't even get a seat on the monorail from their own husband. Nothing about that sounds enticing to me as a 23-year-old. Then I go to the airport to fly home, and there's a baby on the flight. The mom needs like a second to breathe, gives the baby to the husband, instantly starts crying. The baby does not like the dad at all. The husband gets super, super angry because you have a baby on a flight. And he's like, here, just take it. Throws the child at her. Then she obviously calms him down, has to sit with him the whole flight, is putting in the work the entire flight. Then at the end of the flight, she's like, oh, could you help me with my bags? He goes, I have my own stuff. Oof. Nothing about what I see from real life people who have children makes me want to have kids. There's no amount of money that can make me suffer that way. And this is just my opinion. No hate. Actually, sending love to all the women out there who are doing that. Like, you are superheroes, but it's not for me.
Interpersonally, men are terrible to women. Government should decide, like interpersonally on the daily, men are gaslighting women. How do you think these systems are upheld? They're upheld by the everyday average man. It's not just the men at top that are doing it. It's the everyday average men that perpetuate it on the daily. It's crazy. Like, and then men are like, I don't know what they're complaining about. Did you see the gap? Like the men are like, oh, what do you want? You guys want to leave America? But it's great. Hey, what's the big deal? America is a cesspool for marginalized groups of people. So unless you're a cishet white man, what the fuck? You don't want to be here. Like nobody wants to be here. I mean, I won't say nobody wants to be here, but I mean, let's be for real. Like, unless you're old, right? No old people want to leave. But like the thing was 18 to 44 or 45 or whatever. I'm 43, right? Like I said, I have a house, I have a family, and I'm still like, I would leave this motherfucker in a heartbeat. I've thought about it. We've researched it. As terrible as America is, one thing America has on the vast majority of the world is how it treats people with profound autism specifically. like you go to, I was thinking like, oh, maybe Asian country. No, 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 no. China, nope. Japan, fuck no. South Korea, absolutely the fuck not. They don't give a fuck. They treat them damn near like Hitler and them was doing. You know what I'm saying? Europe, nope. No, maybe the Scandinavian countries, but I don't want to live. I mean, I'm kind of hamstrung. Continent of Africa, not a shot. Nobody. Nowhere. South America, nope. Central America, nope. North America, nope. It's pretty much just the USA. And I'm telling you that says a lot. Like me and my family, we have no reason to leave when you look at it on paper. But daily, my day to day, my kids' experiences, all that stuff, I'm like, we got to get the fuck out of here. And in the future, I'm like, damn, we cooked. This country refuses to protect its own female citizens.
The 40-year-old is accused of essentially walking into work yesterday at 6 a.m. and the first thing he did was grabbing a sledgehammer and then just bludgeoning 20-year-old Amber Check.
It just shows, how fleeting life can be. This poor victim, 20 years old, went to work yesterday morning and didn't come home.
Wright County Attorney Brian Lutz filed a murder case against David DeLong, a 3-year employee at APT. Investigators say surveillance video recorded a lot of DeLong's attack first thing in the morning. They say he put on gloves, grabbed the sledgehammer from the woman's workstation, and then hit her with it.
The victim is off scene from the video, but the video shows the suspect swinging a pretty significant incised sledgehammer 5 times and attacking the victim.
They say the woman was standing for the first blow, but then DeLong hit her 4 times after she was on the ground. This is currently charged as a second-degree murder, but prosecutors could take it to a grand jury to get a first-degree murder indictment. That requires proof of premeditation, and Lutz says the surveillance video is proof, and so is DeLong's confession.
He acknowledged in that statement that he intended to kill the victim. So it does seem like we have premeditation available in this case.
Federal statistics show there are about 500 workplace homicides every year, so about 10 people are killed in the workplace every week in the U.S.
This is what I'm saying about not protecting women. So there's so many layers to these types of stories. First of all, this is a femicide. This is femicide. This is what femicide is. She was killed because of her gender. I'm 100% sure of it. It's only one woman working there. Why would you kill one woman? The one woman that's working there. Of all the men there, it's the one woman. Okay. 100% femicide off the rip. We're not describing these crimes. We're not calling them what they are, because then we would have to acknowledge there's a fucking epidemic in this country. And I've heard a ton of stupid ass men. It's not that bad. Oh, only 3 out of 100,000. You're telling me that's a lot? Yeah, mother, that's a lot for this country. For a country that's developed, that's a shit. It's the highest of any of the developed countries. It's like 2, almost fucking 3 women out of every 100,000 are unalived by a man. Femicide, crazy. It's ridiculous. So we're not doing anything to address this issue. We're not Second degree, what are you talking about? Life, automatically. A man unalives a woman, life. Automatically. Automatic. Second degree. What the fuck are you talking about? Life. Forever. Done. You grape, you're done. You molest, you're done. Get him out of here. Forever. Done. And I'm not, I promise y'all, I am abolish the prison system guy. You see what I'm saying? But those people in this society we cannot have them right now. They can't be here with us. They're not safe. You can't reform them. They're done. They're cooked. You can stop it from happening preemptively. But once it happens, once these people are made to be the people that they end up becoming, that train isn't going to go off that track. They're going to cause harm. That's just the reality. It's just a matter of time. Right? So yeah, this woman was unalived at her job site by a man. And mind you, what job was she working? Again, another layer to it, a blue collar job. A blue collar job, right? She was a welder, if I'm not mistaken. He's a welder. Blue collar jobs are unsafe for women. Blue collar jobs, all jobs are unsafe for women in general, as long as men are there. But blue collar jobs are exceedingly unsafe for women in so many ways, right? One, the threat of physical violence. Two, the level of harassment that they will undoubtedly face. And then men are running around here on the daily gaslighting women, talking about women just don't want to work blue collar jobs. Why the fuck would they want to? Why do they want to be around you fucking psychos? Makes no sense. They're smart. They know. And that's if they get the damn job to begin with, because again, the average man is harmful to women. You guys don't even fucking hire them when you have the opportunity. Then one gets through and then she gets killed at her workstation. Like, yeah, man.
And right now, I want to give a shout out to young women. Okay, women in general, especially black women and young women. Okay, those are the two groups. Why? Because there's a convergence, guys, of women who are just done with fucking Republicans and MAGA people. Okay, they're done with them. They're done with being told they need an MRS degree. They don't want to get married and take care of some fucking man. They want to be independent, have their own goddamn lives, and not be part of this like patriarchal marriage culture. Okay. And so today there was like a huge, it was like a fucking the stars aligning at the same time as this Epstein shit is blowing up. All the right-wing influencers released these charts that showing like a poll of high school seniors and girls in high school saying they don't want to get married anymore. And the evangelical MAGA freakazoids they're panicking, guys. They're like, oh shit, women don't want to get married. And there was another poll that said like 40% of women want to leave America. And so what's happening is like the MAGA movement simultaneously, while we find out that Trump is the sex predator we always knew he was, and everything about them is a disaster. The women are like letting them know that like we're just done with you guys. And so it's led to a lot of panic with these evangelical incel manosphere people. So today, everybody at TPUSA was freaking out. And it was all about this chart. Okay, look at this shit. This is the big meltdown today, guys, for MAGA. This is the big MAGA meltdown. This is a Pew Research that just came out. But look what they discovered. It used to be that 83% of the girls said they wanted to get married, 76% of the boys. And now 74% of the boys want to get married, but only 61% of the girls do. The evangelical, patriarchal bullshit artists, they are freaking out about this. They're like, wait a second, how do I get to like crank out babies and have all my kids get taken care of if I can't find some girl who's dumb enough to marry my stupid ass and fucking clean up after me like a goddamn mommy for my whole life. Dude, because like, I mean, there's a number of things at play here, guys, but most of it is the fact that, yeah, women are getting smarter. They're realizing that marriage is a con. They don't get a career. They don't get any equity and shit, except maybe if they get divorced. And then they have to go through a legal battle, and then they get treated like they're an asshole for taking anything, right? They have to a thankless job of raising kids with no fucking whatever. They get no reward for it, right?
That man went on the rant of all rants. He didn't miss. It was just like shot after shot after shot. That's why I played it last. I ain't got nothing to say. He sounded like me. He mad as I am. It's the fucking truth. I don't think women are getting smarter. I think women have always been this smart. They're just getting freer. They just have more access to information, and they also have more access to voicing their opinions about what's going on. And that's what you're seeing, and that's what you're hearing. I think women 150 years ago were saying the exact same fucking thing about men right now. Women, he talked about black women. I watched a video from women in the 1960s saying the exact same thing about black men. I've seen it in 1967. It was the same shit. It's the same thing. Men haven't gotten smarter, though. That's the problem. Men haven't gotten smarter, and we need to. But that's why women want to leave the country. I get it. And that's why women want to leave patriarchy. They're out. They never liked it to begin with.